1984 by George Orwell. In the dystopian landscape of George Orwell's 1984, the year itself serves as a haunting reminder of the bleak future envisioned by the author. Published in 1949, Orwell's magnum opus remains a chilling exploration of totalitarianism, thought control, and the erosion of individual freedom. Set in a world perpetually at war, where the ruling party exercises absolute authority over every aspect of its citizens' lives, 1984 is a cautionary tale that transcends its time and continues to resonate with contemporary audiences. Through the eyes of the protagonist, Winston Smith, Orwell unveils a nightmarish reality where truth is malleable, history is rewritten, and dissent is ruthlessly suppressed. As Smith navigates a labyrinth of surveillance and manipulation, Orwell compels readers to confront the dangers of unchecked power and the enduring quest for human autonomy in the face of oppression. Winston Smith is an Oceanian low-ranking member of the party in power in London. Winston sees the face of the party's ostensibly all-knowing leader, known only as Big Brother, everywhere he goes, even his own house, thanks to telescreens. The party rules all of Oceania, including the language and history of the inhabitants. Right now, the party is imposing Newspeak, a fabricated language designed to stifle political uprising by erasing all terms associated with it. Illegal even to think rebellious thoughts. Actually, the worst of all crimes is this kind of thought crime. Winston is dissatisfied at the beginning of the book by the party's tyranny and strict control, which forbids sex, free thought, and any kind of unique expression. Winston has bought an illicit diary to jot down his criminal ideas because he detests parties. He has also developed a fascination with O'Brien, a strong party member, whom Winston thinks is a covert member of the Brotherhood, the enigmatic organization that plots to topple the party. Winston edits historical documents in the Ministry of Truth to suit party policy. He fears the stunning dark-haired co-worker who is staring at him is an informant who will bring him in for his thought crime. The party's hold on history worries him. Winston seems to remember a period when Oceania was not an ally of East Asia in a fight against Eurasia, as the party asserts. Winston finds it incredulous that the party also asserts that Emmanuel Goldstein, the purported Brotherhood leader, is the most dangerous man alive. Winston wanders about London's poorest neighbourhoods in the evenings, where proles, or proletarians, lead filthy lives mostly unobserved by the party. Winston gets the note with the dark-haired girl's words, "I love you," one day. When she gives him her name, Julia, they start an illicit relationship while constantly watching for indications of party surveillance. In due course, they lease a space above the second-hand store in the prole neighbourhood where Winston purchased the diary. Long-lasting is this relationship. While Julia is more realistic and upbeat, Winston is certain they will be discovered and punished sooner or later. The fatalistic Winston feels he has been doomed since he wrote his first journal entry. Winston becomes increasingly hateful of the party as his relationship with Julia develops. He had been waiting patiently for this message. O'Brien wants to see him. To O'Brien's opulent flat, Winston and Julia go. O'Brien, who is an inner party member, Winston is an outer party member, lives in luxury that Winston can only dream of. Winston and Julia are assured by O'Brien that he despises the party and that, as a Brotherhood member, he works against it. Indoctrinating Winston and Julia into the Brotherhood, he also hands Winston a copy of the Brotherhood's manifesto, written by Emmanuel Goldstein. In the room over the store, Winston reads Julia the book, which is a synthesis of numerous types of class-based 20th-century social theory. Then soldiers storm in and take them. It turns out that the business owner, Mr. Charrington, had always been a member of the thought police. Winston discovers, after being taken away from Julia and brought to a location known as the Ministry of Love, that O'Brien is also a party spy who only claimed to be a Brotherhood member in order to trick Winston into openly rebelling against the party. Winston fights to resist as O'Brien tortures and brainwashes him for months. O'Brien finally assigns him to the notorious Room 101, the last stop for anyone who defies the party. Winston will now have to face his greatest fear, O'Brien warns him. Winston has been having nightmares about rats all through the book. O'Brien now straps a cage full of rats to Winston's head and gets ready to let the rats devour his face. Winston loses it, begs O'Brien to do it to Julia rather than to him. Everything along, O'Brien urged Winston to give up Julia. Winston is set free to face the outer world, his soul crushed. When he meets Julia, he is over her. He has come to love Big Brother and has totally embraced the party. In a world teetering on the edge of uncertainty, George Orwell's 1984 stands as a poignant reminder of the dangers of unchecked power and the importance of vigilance in safeguarding our freedoms. Through its gripping narrative and thought-provoking themes, 1984 offers readers a stark reflection of the consequences of totalitarianism and the erosion of individual autonomy. As we navigate an increasingly complex and interconnected global landscape, Orwell's prophetic vision serves as a clarion call to confront uncomfortable truths and to challenge the forces that seek to manipulate truth and subjugate the human spirit. By delving into the pages of 1984, readers are not merely spectators to a dystopian future, but active participants in a timeless struggle for liberty and justice. In a world where the echoes of Orwell's warnings reverberate with unsettling resonance, 1984 remains not just a novel, but a vital testament to the enduring power of literature to provoke thought, inspire action, and ignite the flames of resistance against oppression. Please find the links below to explore 1984 and dare to confront the shadows that threaten to engulf us, for in knowledge lies the power to shape a brighter future.